Yo, welcome to All Things Covered with Patrick Peterson and Bryant McFadden, part of the CBS Sports Podcast Network. Man, the name says it all. If you're rocking with us, make sure you leave a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts. Or if you're watching us on YouTube, make sure you hit the subscribe button so you can get alert of all our great content right away. While you're at it, hit us with a like and a comment as well. Pat P, let's get to our show.
Let's do it.
Now it's time for SKOL check-in. SKOL check-in. Before we get to the most recent ball game involving the Minnesota Vikings, it's only right that we tap in with Pat P to get the latest on his rehab. What's the situation? How you feeling? What you got for us?
Everything's on track. Just continue doing what I need to do to make sure to have me as strong as possible and where it needs to be for me to perform at a high level. But everything's looking good so far.
So right now, based on how you feel, based on the expectations, it's safe to say the best case scenario is this will be the last game you miss and you will make your return in 2 weeks?
Yes, sir. That's the plan.
And that game will be, I know you got it circled on your schedule. Who's that game?
It's Packers.
The Green Bay Packers. Yes, The Green Bay Packers. So that's definitely big news. Viking fans, I know the organization, they miss you dearly. The team miss you. So hearing that you're on track and everything is going accordingly is big time news. So keep doing what they ask you to do, and everything should work out in your favor. Sure. So now let's transition to Ravens recap. Once again, it was a nail biter. Once again, it was a blood pressure raiser. The Minnesota Vikings, they find a way to raise your pressure even when you're in good health. Unfortunately for the Minnesota Vikings, a heartbreaking type loss, overtime loss to the Baltimore Ravens, issue that has reoccurred over and over again for the Minnesota Vikings, the inability to finish the drill. What type of blow is that for the team when you have a game necessarily not in your hands, but clearly in direction of winning the ball game and not being able to finish, Pat P? What was that mindset, for you watching, and of course being a part of the team, preparing, getting ready, not being able to finish the game against the Ravens? I'm sorry.
It was definitely was a big blow to us, but at the end of the day, we can't. We have to continue to try to learn from the mistakes that we made in that game. It's a lot of good things in that game. It's a ton of good things in that on tape that we can watch, but it's just a couple of small things that we have to clean up, like, eliminating, in my opinion, I thought neither one of those penalties were penalties, but it is what it is. But, trying to find a way, like I said, finding a way to keep Lamar off the field. And they had a 16-play drive, 10-play drive. And, it's hard, for defenses to kind of catch their stride when you're on the field for so long. I believe we played like 98 plays or something like that. Mm-hmm. So, that's a recipe for, not disaster, but a recipe for, setting yourself up for failure, because your defense will only be out there for so long. So, yeah. We just have to find a way to continue to get better in situational football. Third down, we have to get better on third down, both sides of the ball. Had a big play on kick return. That I think that helped us in that game for sure. Finally got an opportunity to break one of those loose. Mm-hmm. And on defense, we just have to find a way to get off the field on like I said, on third downs and just finding a way to create 3 and outs, winning on first down, minimizing the gains on first downs. And I think that's just some of the things that hurt us to not keep them behind the 8 ball, not making them predictable, in a sense. So Lamar in that offense is very dynamic. He has the ability to run the ball, as you saw, having 120 yards rushing, 266 passing. You have a full control of the game now. I wish we came out on the winning end of the stick, but it was a great game to watch for sure.
Yeah. I mean, the Ravens ran 89 plays compared to the 52 that was ran by the Vikings, and the 5 losses, you lost by a combined 18 points. Mm-hmm. all 5 losses have pretty much been really, really close. One possession game here or there. So you just been on the bad end of the stick when it comes to finishing. And that's something that I've seen throughout the course of the year, just not being able to finish. And clearly, if you're not able to do that, you won't have a pretty good record. And that's the situation right now for the Vikings. So you still got enough time to try to, right the wrongs and change the narrative, what we've seen so far from the season. But, you just got to get everybody healthy, get everybody on the same page. What type of blow was it to not have the hitman Harrison Smith in the lineup? And you guys didn't learn about his absence until right before game time. And he prepared like he would be involved. But what type of blow was that for the defense?
It was a shocker to us. Everybody getting to the stadium, getting dressed for the game. Everybody looking around like, where Tutu at? They said, Tutu not going to be able to make the game. Obviously getting dinged with the COVID. I think he failed his COVID test that morning or something like that. I couldn't tell you which test it was, but that was a big blow for us. Obviously, like you said, prepared all week. Was in there, guys hearing his voice, but Cam did a great job of stepping in and replacing him. Having a big interception, having a bunch of tackles in the game. I thought he communicated well. So that's just like we talked about, in the summertime, getting guys ready, and that's our job as the older guys and the coaching staff and the scouting department to make sure that we have the right guys. If something was to happen, that, if they have to step in there and play, it won't be a drop off.
Yeah, Cam played well. He had an interception, throwing into action, clearly not prepared because everyone thought that Harrison would be in the lineup. But, he played pretty well given the circumstances. And talking about another interception, how athletic was Anthony Barr's interception in overtime? Think about
that. Was big time. That was big time. Heck of an interception. Had a great view of it. I was behind the offense, so I saw the whole play unfold. And that's just the type of player that Anthony is. That's the type of player that he has been since day one, since he got into the league. Big time players making big time plays in those big time moments. And he gave us the opportunity to kick a field goal to win the game. Unfortunately, we weren't able to do that. But we had opportunities to win that game multiple times, and we weren't able to put the nail in the coffin. And that's just something we have to learn from and continue to build from, and hopefully don't bite us in the foot here in the future.
And when it comes to injured players, Pat P, a lot of players don't necessarily travel with the team, in road games, but, you've been there. Is that something that, you want to be a part of? Is something that you want to stay connected to the ball game? Tell us, your mindset in traveling with the team. What does it mean for you?
Yeah, I know it's a short term, IR, a short term injury for me. So I just want to keep my body, my mind into my same routine that I've been going throughout the year. I want to be able to be the extra eyes for the young guys on the sideline, be able to give them some nuggets for them to go out there in the field and perform at the best of their ability. You know what I mean? So, and the guys, trust me enough to come to me and be like, what can I do better here? What did you see there? You know what I mean? So, I just want to be that helping hand in any fashion or form that I can be to help us win games, because that's what it's all about. Every hand's in the pile. And I know my hand's in the pile even if I'm not even on the field, because I feel like, with me being a captain, me being a veteran, it's still my duty to get the guys prepared to go out there and play their best ball.
So it's safe to say now you're like Coach Pat. Right.
Yeah. I'm not coaching after football, so don't ask me that. But
I know what you're doing after football. So I wasn't.
So at this time,
but right now you're kind of Coach Pat.
Yeah, right now as I'm playing, I'm Coach Pat right
now. Okay, I already know what time it is when it's all said and done. But hey, it's good to have the extra set of eyes, and it's good for you too. Like you said, you still want to be in game mode. So when you're healthy, when you're clear, all you got to do is put back on the helmet, your cleats and everything else, because, staying involved and preparing like you are going to play, so you don't have to get right back into that mentality when you're cleared. So it's enough with the Ravens. It's a new week, new test. Chargers preview. That's the next opponent for the Minnesota Vikings. Justin Herbert has been a hot name throughout the NFL world. Talented player in year 2. Talking about Justin Herbert, he has some pretty good pass catchers to throw the football to. Friend of the show, we had Jared Cook on some weeks ago. He is the tight end for the Los Angeles Chargers. Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, Austin Eckler in the backfield. You've matched up against Keenan Allen twice with the Cardinals. What makes him so special?
Just his versatility in route running, his versatility at the line of scrimmage. He's a guy that, that's able to attack angles, versus guys that come straight down the pipeline, like we talk about, like I try to tell most DBs when the guys are shaking their shoulders. The thing that Keenan does very well is he's still coming straight down the box, but he's one of the receivers that get outside of the box, if that makes sense.
Can you please elaborate on that a little bit? Simplify.
Yeah, so he's still coming straight to you
when he's running his route.
Yeah, when he's running his routes or in his release, but he's attacking angles when he's coming at you. So most receivers come right down the line. When Keenan comes to you, he's going to attack a shoulder, but he's still coming vertical to you. So it makes it seem like you're in a rush, or it makes it seem like he's attacking you right now to forces you to open up. But at the end of the day, the shoulders, the hands, giving our eyes an illusion that the receiver is doing a lot to us. But if you watch the film in slow motion, at the end of the day, he's still coming down the pipeline. He's just attacking a side. But what most receivers do, they just come down and just attack your cushion. What Keenan does, he attacks the shoulders of the DB, and that's why his releases look a little bit more vicious than other releases that receivers do, because he do a great job of attacking that angle. And if you don't obey, the angle that he attacked, he's gonna create more separation. So that's why it makes it look, worse than what it really is on tape or on film.
And then opposite of Keenan,
but a very, very crafty vet, been in the game a long time. Not the fastest, but he's definitely one of the smoothest
route runners
in the game, as far as when it comes to getting open, for sure.
Yeah, and opposite of Keenan Allen, you got a bigger body in Mike Williams, who has really emerged to be a big playmaker for the Chargers. Talk about the size, how he utilizes his size in his favor in this type of matchup. I know you like big body wide receivers. Those are the matchups that you look forward to. But going against, guys, you got young Cam. I'm not sure exactly the injury status to Brashard Breeland, but the matchup between Mike Williams, what can you inform? How can you educate the guys that are going against him to be able to put themselves in position to be successful against a bigger type wide receiver?
Yeah, Mike has a unique skill set as well. He's a bigger receiver, but he's a possession receiver, and he's a receiver that wants to take the top off the defense. That can catch that back shoulder fade that him and Phillip Rivers was phenomenal at. Him and Justin hasn't got quite, that touchdown with the back shoulder fade. But his ability to be able to, be that possession receiver, catch those tough balls, catch those 50-50 balls, but also have enough speed to get behind the defense. That just makes him that much more dangerous. So, again, like each and every week, we've got our hands full again with a good crop of receivers, a young, talented quarterback, a running back that can move the pile. We have to bring our lunch pail and our hard hat for sure, to try to keep these guys on the field and try our best, go out there and put forth our best effort to get a dub, because we damn sure need one.
You need one in the worst way. Desperation has to be the mindset for the team. You got to be desperate. Is this a must win? I know every week is a must win, but based on, the bad luck you guys have been a part of when it comes to winning, Pat P, is this a must win for the Vikings?
I think it's a must win. I really do, because time is running out. That sand in that little glass is definitely still falling out of the opposite end. So we have to, at the end of the day, we have to tally up some wins to get where we want to go. And we can't continue to be in these close losing games. That's no fun. That's not, anything you want to be a part of. You prepare each and every day as best as you can to go out there and get a W. And I feel like we do that each and every week. We've just been coming up on the short end of the stick. So I think it's about time for that tide to change. And why not start, hopefully this week. So, this is definitely a must win.
It's a must win. So Minnesota Vikings fans who love our show.
So let's make sure we get all the writers out. I'm not guaranteeing a win.
You just said must win.
Must win. Yeah.
Yeah.
They'll find a way.
Yeah, I don't know how you can misinterpret that. You said, is it a must win? Yes, it's a must win. So Pat P, it's BMac's prediction time.
Let's go.
I'm gonna try something different. And you guys know I'm rooting for the Vikings week in and week out, but I'm gonna predict the Vikings to lose. Because any other time I predict the Vikings to win, it hasn't really happened like that. So I'm just try to change my luck a little bit. So
change it up.
So hey, for our listeners and our viewers, you guys know every week I'm rocking with the Vikings. I'm just a guy who, I gamble a lot on games, so I'm just changing it up. It's like this: when you're watching the game and you're invested in the game, either financially or just by the heart. You guys are losing. Guess what you do? You usually change your seating. Like if you were sitting in one chair, you go sit in another chair, right? I know I'm not the only one that do that. It gotta be someone who's listening to me. They do the same thing. Like, yeah, BMac, you're right. So this is what I'm doing. I'm gonna switch up a little bit. Prediction time. I didn't lie. Oh, you go SoFi Stadium. Nice venue to watch a football game at. All right. Prediction time. The Chargers will win 27-23. Now, remember what I said. I'm just trying to switch it up. Let's see if this can kind of get the mojo going in the right direction. All right. So I want to hear people saying, wait a minute, why are he picking the Chargers to win? Heck, I pick the Vikings every week. So I'm going to just switch it up a little bit. Chargers win. Chargers will win. What did I say, Eric? God dang it.
27-23.
27-23. Let's see what happens with that. The holidays are coming up. And while family and football are a couple of essentials, so is food. When it comes to holiday meals, quality is super important. You don't want family members talking about you because you prepared a low quality meal. That's why I recommend ButcherBox. They do the complete opposite. ButcherBox sources their meats from partners with the highest standards for quality. I'm talking free range organic chicken, 100% grass-fed beef, wild-caught seafood, and more. I recently made these fire tacos. I had the options for what to put in them. Thanks to ButcherBox. Some of my family wanted beef, some wanted chicken, and my children, they wanted shrimp. We were able to make it all happen, and everyone loved the taste. It's great because every month, ButcherBox ships curated selection of high-quality meat right to your home. Free shipping from the continental USA. Each box contains between 8 to 14 pounds of meat, depending on the box you choose. That's enough for 24 individual meals. And they pack it fresh and ship it frozen, so you don't have to worry about those long lines at the grocery stores this holiday season. This holiday, ButcherBox is proud to give you new members free New York strip steaks for a full year. The deal has never been offered before, and it won't last forever. Get 2 delicious 100% grass-fed New York strip steaks for free in every box for a year. This offer is only available until the 30th of this month, 11/30/21. So get it before it's gone. Just go to butcherbox.com/allthingscovered to sign up. That's butcherbox.com/allthingscovered to receive this limited time offer for free. New York strip steaks for a full year. Now it's time to tap into Around the League. Let's talk about some of the news that has been surfacing throughout the NFL. Friend of the show, your good homeboy, OBJ, waived by the Cleveland Browns. Clearly it was an ongoing affair, back and forth. Your teammates Justin Jefferson and Cam Dantzler wore free Odell shirts pregame on Sunday, where he's free. He's free to sign with whatever team claims him off waiver wires. What are your thoughts about the Odell Beckham Jr. situation with Cleveland?
I never really understood it. I was, obviously from afar seeing some of the, reports that was coming out of, Cleveland or whatever. So I was just basically, looking at it from, a fan's view. I never really reached out to him, anything like that. But, looking at it from afar, it looked like it was a it wasn't a healthy relationship, for him, for the team. Just never seemed like they can get it out of first gear. But just to have that talent, it's a shame to see that those guys wasn't able to get it out of first gear because the talent that they got over there, Jesus Christ, to have a two-headed running back, Jarvis doing this thing, who actually I believe benefited from the Odell acquisition. I think it's just something that just didn't work out. And I saw Shannon talk about it. He just said it's just one of the things that just didn't work out, and it just seemed to be the situation with Odell in Cleveland. Just seemed like it just never worked out. But I wish Odell well. I'm sure a team will pick him up here pretty soon. Like you said, he want to be. Everybody wants to be a part of a winning
contender.
Yeah, not only a winning contender, but a winning atmosphere. It just winning definitely brings more smiles than anything. So
no question.
I hope that he finds that and he can get back into that big light that he once was a couple of years ago for sure.
And he told us, last year when we had him on the show, he wants to win, but he also wants to have his numbers. You had an opportunity to play against the Cleveland Browns this year, covering OBJ. Granted, he wasn't able to get his numbers with the Browns, but individually speaking, does he still have the sauce? Does he still have a lot left in the tank?
Yeah, I really do. I just think, it just seems like, obviously being on the field, being in the game, just seeing how the game was going, just seemed like he wasn't, implementing in the offensive game plan much as he was accustomed of, especially being the only guy there now. You can just tell that, just something wasn't right. You know what I mean? You just tell that, he just wasn't the go-to guy as he thought he should be, especially at that time. You know what I mean? Being the only guy there, having obviously, you're having Kareem Hunt and a Chubb in the back. Those guys will get their carries. But as far as when it comes to, the ball in the air, he should be in 15 targets. Yeah. You know what I mean? At least. And he wasn't, so you can just tell that he felt that he wasn't implementing the game plan. And, and then in times, it showed, whether it was route running or his engagement in the game or whatever the case may be. But hopefully he can find that success somewhere else here in the future. But I do think he definitely have some juice left in the tank.
Yeah, he will get signed at some point in time. Short list of teams who may go out and try to make a move. Granted, it's all about waiver wires. If you know anything about the waiver wire, the teams that are in the worst situation record wise have the opportunity of claiming him better before competitive like teams. But I think a team like Baltimore definitely could use him. That would be huge for Lamar Jackson if they can get on the same page. The Saints need wide receiver help in the worst way.
You got Oakland.
Yeah.
You got New England.
So
a couple teams out there that need a receiver.
Yeah, no doubt. A few teams that could use a receiver like OBJ. So we just have to wait and see. We wish him nothing but the best. 13 definitely still has something left in the tank. I think he can easily get you numbers and help your team get over that hurdle offensively if he's in that situation. But some things I think it's best for both parties to part like how it happened in Cleveland. I think Cleveland, they're okay. They're better without OBJ. And I think OBJ is in a better place with not being a part of the Cleveland Browns. I think it's safe to say. So we have to wait and see how that all pans out. We're going to take a quick break, but we'll be back with some of the best performances of the week, plus 7 questions. All Things Covered Award. We're dishing out 2 awards weekly for those that live up to our show name and have all things covered. Now, on Pat P, this week, listeners and viewers, it's a little different. Usually, we give an award defensively and offensively, but this week, it was all about the defense. So we're giving out 2 awards on the defensive side this week. First award goes to Josh Allen. The Jaguars Josh Allen. I think it's the first time we ever seen a Josh Allen sack a Josh Allen. Same name player defensively sacking the same name player offensively. Josh Allen had a heck of a day. He picked off the Bills, Josh Allen. First time in NFL history that a player intercepted a quarterback with the same name. Josh Allen also had a sack on the Bills, Josh Allen, which is the first time a player has sacked a quarterback with the same name since the NFL started counting sacks in 1982. And Josh Allen also had a fumble recovery on a fumble by the Bills, Josh Allen. Josh Allen was everywhere. Not to mention, they won the game.
9-6?
9-6.
Defensive game.
You talk about parlays that were instantly killed when that happened.
Yeah.
I did have the under in that game. That's the only thing I got right this past Sunday. Everything else was bad. Another defensive award goes to cornerback Denzel Ward from the Cleveland Browns. 100-yard pick six off Joe Burrow. Not to mention he had a handful of PBUs as well. He just was all over the place. I mean, anytime a wide receiver was running a route for Cincy and he was covering him, he was in their back pocket checking everything from the ID, passport number, everything. Pat P, pick six, that was huge because that kind of gave Cleveland a nice cushion to get the game going before they even offense stepped on the football field. And they won as well. Another parlay buster, because I definitely had Cincinnati. I bought it down to 1.5. I thought Cincinnati win that ball game. But those are the two awards that we are handing out this week to two defensive studs: Josh Allen of the Jacksonville Jaguars and Denzel Ward of the Cleveland Browns. All right, 7 questions is where we get a chance to interact with you, the listeners and the viewers. If you want your question to be answered in the future, leave a question attached to a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. And guess what? We may get to it on the show. This week's question comes from Michael Height. You can follow him on Twitter at Mr. Height24. Trivia for BMac and P2 at All Things Covered Pod. Who is the all-time leader in interception? And he hashtag has Pat heard, hashtag All Things Covered. Who is the all-time NFL leader in interception?
I know it's a big number. I know it's somebody like in the 50s, bro, or maybe the 60s. He got like 70 interceptions.
It's in the high 60s.
Now, I want to say it's 70.
It got to be in the 70s then.
Oh, 81.
81, yeah.
Damn.
81. Shoot.
I know Larry Wilson's up there.
All right, so we got a hint for you, Pat P. This is for you, not for me. You definitely should see him somewhere in the building you go to work in now.
Oh, yeah. We were just talking about that. Damn, what's his name? God, dog it. Me and Harry was just talking about this too, like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, you should see him in the building.
He got the one bar too. Damn, what's his name?
Played from 64 to 79, 81 interceptions. Dang,
I want to say, is it Thomas?
Nope.
No, it's not Thomas.
His initials is PK.
PK. Okay. Damn, I couldn't even tell you.
Paul Krause.
Paul Krause.
Yep. And the all-time leader in interceptions.
Because he's like number 30, I think, right?
I think Paul had a number in the 40s.
Hey, what number was Paul?
I think he had a number in the 40s.
He wore 22, so he was the same number as Harry.
Oh, 22. Okay.
22. Okay. Yeah,
right.
Paul Krause, 81.
Paul Krause. I knew it was a high number. And I know Charles Wilson's up there with 60-something.
Yes. Yeah, Paul Krause. And the all-time leader in interceptions for someone that played entirely in the Super Bowl era is, I think it's Rod Woodson.
Yes. Rod Woodson is number one.
Rod Woodson. Yeah, Rod Woodson.
Honestly, it might be Rod and Charles at 1 and 2.
Could be. Hey, my defensive coordinator, Dick LeBeau, I think he had 62 interceptions.
Yeah. That's big.
That's big. That's big. Charles Woodson had 65. Ooh, that's a lot of picks. A lot of picks. Thank you, Michael, for that outstanding question. Like I said, if you would like to have your question answered on the show, make sure you leave it leave a 5-star review attached to your question.
That's it for this episode. Thanks to everyone for listening and watching. We'll be back again Thursday, where you can expect all things to be covered. Peace.
Peace.